action.
Hi guys, welcome back to How to 911. This is a very special episode because this is our 2-year anniversary.
Woo.
I'm looking at Erica, she's behind the camera, so if you see my eyes do weird stuff, it's because of that. We just wanted to do a special episode, and this is something we've wanted to do for a while now, and it seemed right to do it for our 2-year. We're gonna walk you through our CAD, and so we're in the training room right now, and we're on training CAD because obviously we don't want to actually put calls out there when they're not happening. So just a quick rundown, we're gonna look at Erica's CAD as well. Mine's a little bit different. I'm just gonna show you the screens, what they do, what each little thing means, and kind of go from there. We usually, these two top screens are for the cold, what we call the cold domain, which is where we can connect to the internet, which is very useful for looking through some of the resources that we have to find information. I'm not gonna log into those right now though. This is our map. As you can tell, obviously, if you know Loveland, this is the city of Loveland. These different colors represent different things. So the ones that I just pointed out, these are different districts. So like these different colors, and then the yellow is outside of the Loveland Police City jurisdiction. So I know we've talked about it before, but just I'm gonna zoom in here on like one little section. So like right here, you can see like there's houses here, but they're not our jurisdiction, but it's just so funny that they're like right outside, but then we'll pick up again and then not the other way around. So kind of funny. There's like little holes here and there, but yeah, that's just how it is. You can see, whoops, a little too far there. You can see this isn't live. Again, this is training CAD. So we have our unit numbers, all these different fire departments. You can see the training grounds, like the different stations are also marked. We have our station out here out in the county. So you can see a lot of things, really cool. I mean, it's probably a little confusing and overwhelming to those who aren't aware of what you're looking at, but you can see the major streets are named. It's very helpful. Just gonna zoom in. Well, let's just do right here. So you can see it will show us like individual houses and things like that. So it's pretty cool, and it'll also name like the park. And then let's go downtown because I feel like that would have some clusters. Yeah, so you get to see all of the business names are highlighted. So like this particular shopping center has a dentist office, coffee, and it's also an apartment. So like it's kind of overwhelming, but it's really cool to have all those labeled.
Can we really quickly?
Sure.
Can you zoom out like you did before on accidents?
Yeah.
But then, so that's all of our, like that's where it gets into that green, like over here, like we're still going up into that jurisdiction. That's our fire jurisdiction. So we go, and then our ambulance jurisdiction too. So even though the colored parts are just City of Loveland,
yeah,
all of that jurisdiction, everything on the, almost everything on the map is Loveland Fire and Thompson Valley EMS.
Right, and then we can go down into Berthoud and see like this is also where we have our fire response. This is the city of Berthoud. This big break of orange is where it starts into Weld County, and as we've talked about before in our previous episodes, we still go into parts of Weld County with our fire response depending on where it's at exactly. We also go into, so this hard green line is Boulder County, so we still go into some parts of Boulder to help out Longmont Fire, Mountain View Fire, and Lyons Fire. As you can see, I'm not sure if that's exactly where their stations are, that's just where we have them marked. And then same thing here. We have a break. Here's Johnstown, which is technically part of Weld County, but you can see that it's still part of Larimer. Really gets into some weird gray areas. Same thing with up here. So, and then we go up, we can also see Fort Collins. So that's a really cool thing, is they have a lot more stuff going on. But Fort Collins has a lot more space than we do. And then let's just zoom out for funsies. And you can see all of Larimer County just goes that way. So it's pretty spacious little area. So I'm gonna go back to Loveland. Right now I only have my, let's look at the table of contents. So we can change this to show fire response areas, get a whole lot more color. I only like to choose that depending on like what kind of call I'm taking and stuff to see if I should transfer it or not, because it'll say here, this will be front range with auto aid of LFRA for a structure fire. So if I'm taking a call for a structure fire, I know I should probably keep taking that call because we're gonna respond with them. So it's just like Windsor Fire, auto aid, LFRA, Windsor Fire, LFRA, so it'll tell us this is LFRA with no hydrants, and the cleaning crew is gonna be vacuuming. I'm so sorry that that noise is in the background. Hopefully they don't come in here, and if they do, that'll be awkward. But you can see the colors mean a whole bunch of different things.
And now the screen is shaking because I'm laughing. So sorry about that as well.
Oh, it's okay. So we can change, oh goodness, I don't know what I clicked on. Oh, I clicked on this guy. I don't know. Oh, this will show you like the different colors and what they mean in case you can't tell them apart and it's not labeled like it was when I clicked on it before. But yeah, we can look at a whole bunch of stuff. We can look at the railroad. We have those marked because those are really important to look at. Landing zones, I have no idea what that is. Probably for helicopters, and I don't think we have any, so that would make sense why I don't see them. Trail markers, those are helpful. Natural areas, gate access, that's probably something that Larimer County has on because we don't have a lot of natural areas. Yeah, there's one, I saw hydrants, here we go. So we can turn the hydrants on. If we zoom in a little bit more, so let's go to, yeah, you can see the little red dots, those are the hydrants.
And not that we can turn them on
No,
and make the water come out.
You're right. I just mean like I can,
yes. Turning on the layer of,
yeah, I can click on that and then no longer will I see hydrants.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to have the hydrants on in case we do have a fire and the firefighters for some reason are like, where are my hydrants? We can tell them. But they're pretty good at knowing that themselves. Okay.
They should.
Yeah, they should. So enough about the map. It's very helpful, obviously, to do our job. It's a lot more in depth than the rundown that I gave, but that's the rundown I'm giving. So then these are also our radios. Basically, we can click to talk, and the red light turns on. We have different tabs depending on what we're doing. I like to stay in specific tabs. These are for the doors. This is for like a lot of things, all of the things. When we say that we have a lot of radio channels we monitor, this is a visual representation of all the radio channels that we have to monitor. This is our phone. I'm not gonna log into the phone just because we are still getting phone calls. We're still a 911 center, and I just don't want to have people's phone numbers pop up, and I'm not good at editing, so we're just not going to do that.
That's just a good idea. When we're on the phone, the light is green, where the light was, we have the red and green,
Yeah. But yeah, so let's go down to here. We're going to, again, Erica's is going to be completely different, but these are what I have is my available police units. This is going to be my busy units, so if they are on a call, if they're out of service for any reason, they'll show up here so that I know that they're unavailable for any calls. And then these are my fire or paramedics busy and available units. I have them together because it's not as important to know, like people aren't calling in to ask for paramedic 311, so I just keep them together because that's the way my mind works. But you can see like the paramedic units, this little green thing means that their GPS is working. That's not true because it's in training CAD, but and then this car thing means that their MDTs are working in their cars. So as you can tell, it's not working because they're in training CAD, it's a little off. These are cross-staffed. That's basically, it just means that their unit is showing available that's also at the same station. And because they're already on like a call or so, like there's four men, that's so sexist, 4 people on a fire engine. If that engine gets pulled for a call, whatever engine is also at the station will be pulled into cross staff because now there's not enough manpower to man that second engine, so it has to be put out of service. That's basically all that means. These are the pending police calls that we have. This is a fake call, this isn't real, so there's that. And these are all of the long calls, so we can take a look and see, like, this is Fort Collins. As you can see, we've definitely gone through and tested out a lot of things, CSU, Estes Park, LCSO, so we can see what everybody's up to. If if LCSO calls over and they're like, hey, check out our vehicle theft, I can click on it and say, okay, cool, I can see exactly what you're talking about. Which we'll talk about the call taking screen in a little bit. So we're gonna go back over here. So this is for my assigned officers, if I have any officers to a call. So let me just go ahead and assign somebody real quick.
Are you typing? I'm gonna.
So I'm gonna pull this up. So we have short codes, or what we call, so I put DOS, so that means dispatch unit and show them on scene. And I'm gonna use a unit from my available unit screen. And then I'm just gonna put the incident number. So you can see it says it went DOS, unit list, and then now I'm ready for the incident command. So 938, because I'm looking at that incident ID and we're attaching it. And here we go. I was like, it didn't work, it did work. So you can see here, I have this assigned unit to that incident number. So it's now showing from the pending screen to the assigned screen. So it's pretty easy. This is, what?
I had Rachel's name on it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sorry.
Oh.
I shouldn't have scrolled.
No, it's all good, I'll figure it out.
Okay.
So this is gonna be my assigned fire EMS. I don't have anybody on a call, so it's not gonna show, but.
And then we can see too that it went from.
Oh yeah, so when we look, the officer that I chose is no longer in the available. It is now in the busy. So it is pulled. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you are asking, like, why are you having these two screens basically do the same thing? You're right, but this shows me like all of the busy. Like I said, you can see here that these units are out of service. That would also show up if the officers were out of service on that screen. It's just, this can get really clustered, so I like to have it separated. Whatever, I do my own thing, okay?
And I will explain, if we want to, how mine's set up.
Yeah,
and
I would love
how I do my own thing.
Yeah, I would love that.
We all do our own thing.
Yeah, so I guess let's go ahead and transition to
okay.
what you've got.
Yeah, great, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, where do you want me to start with?
Wherever.
Mine? So, unit status. My units, they're all together. So I have all my, it was like, I thought it was fire and PD, it's not. So I have just my PD over here, and then I have just my fire over here. So Sammy has, do you have three screens for that?
Don't judge me on my CAD.
No, I want to know. I was like, wait, how did we get there? So, and it's like, don't judge me on mine. We're all different. We can all do our own thing. So I just like being able to see everyone very quickly and easily like that. So that's how I have mine set up. And then mine, I'm probably the only one that has this. All of my pending are down here. So I have my LPD and then my fire, and then for the whole county. So Pooter, Estes Park, they're all there, and then all the PD agencies. And then everything that all my Loveland units are assigned to will be up here. So in my head, when someone needs to be on it, it's at the bottom, and then when someone takes it, it's more important, so it goes on the top. So that's why I have it like that.
Mine's the opposite.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Everyone else is opposite. They're like, wait, no one's assigned to that call. I'm like, yeah, they're right there. It's fine. It's fine. So then, yeah, my map we have the map in the same spot. Good.
Yeah,
I trained.
It's the only place that has the map.
If anyone has it in a different spot, they're wrong.
Obviously.
Yeah, so that's how I have mine set up. Do you want me to?
Yeah, I didn't go over the power lines.
Okay.
I should have 3 open. I have 3 open, but it looks like you only have 2.
I only have 2.
I didn't explain what the function of the power line was. I just was like, here, this is what I'm doing.
It's kind of like where we tell CAD to do everything. So we can do clicks and bring things up, right click on things, but this is the easiest way to do it. So everything that happens that's important, I guess, can happen on our power line. So if I wanted to make that unit available, cool, that screen does that sometimes. This is what I can do. I can make them available. I can give them a dispo code, a disposition, so how it's been handled, either by officer or they took a case number. If it's a fire call, I can just tell CAD that the call's complete and it'll completely close out of something. So we learn all of these command codes in training, and sometimes they'll even pop up where it's like, wait, what? I didn't know that was command code. Like there's one where we can put the whole bunch of units on scene of an incident at the same time instead of doing each one individually. So let's say there's a structure fire and all of our laptops are down for some reason. I can do all 8 engines who are responding en route or on scene at the same time instead of doing engine 41 en route and battalion 41 en route. I can do all of them by telling it this incident number. Everyone's going en route there. So a bunch of different things from there. We can do traffic stops. The police have a lot of short codes or command codes that we have over here, so we can put them on a bike contact or on a follow-up or on a disturbance, all kinds of things. If they call that out themselves, I don't have to, transitioning to, open up a call taking screen. So this call taking screen is where we do everything for the calls. We can still put in notes, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but when someone calls in and they say, I need someone to go check on my dad, I live in Wyoming and he's not answering his phone, I'll ask them what the address is. They'll tell me and I'll put it in, and this happens to be the Loveland Police Department, so 810 East 10th Street as it thinks. So if there is a premise associated with the address, it will populate here so we can all see that, and it'll give me cross streets and the city and a phone number if it's in there. I'm gonna skip off that if that's cool.
Cool.
So we can choose between fire and law, 2 options, but once we choose that, we have a whole bunch of nature codes. So these are all the things that I could choose from for a citizen calling in for assistance. But we're gonna go with a welfare check because they want someone to check on their dad.
Can we pause for a second?
Of course.
These yellow things that you're seeing in the notes right now, let me see if I can point. This yellow thing, it's focusing on my finger and not the, but that's telling us, a lot of premises will have this, especially like large buildings like the police department. Like this is telling us this is where the AEDs are. This is important to know, especially if someone's calling in saying like someone passed out in the lobby of the police department and we have to tell somebody where an AED is. Hopefully everybody who works here knows where those are. I certainly don't. I know of the ones up here which aren't any. Wait, no, dispatch door. Yes, yeah. I know that one. So that's really helpful, especially for like larger places like the library where like a passerby might be helping out. There's caution notes for like trespass notices, burn permits, just other cautions like safety for our responders that we put in there to help out, and then like gate code information, lockbox information. So that kind of stuff, it's automatically put in there because it's tied to the address and it's important to note. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. So we're doing a welfare check.
Okay, welfare check. So I automatically come over here. It's just a habit.
I do the same.
Okay. Even when you're talking, I was like, stop clicking. I will tell the call taking screen. It's really more important for statistics, but how this call came in. Did they call in a 911? Did they fax me this information? Did they call in an admin line? So I'll get the person's name and phone number, and I'll say, Tom, why are we checking on your dad? But while we're having a chat, I'll be putting in notes down here. I'll show you, well, you know what? There's 2 spots to do it. Once you, see, I can't do it up there now. Once you start down here, this is the old school way of doing it. Other people use up here to type their notes, but I don't, because why learn new thing?
Right.
Once, let's see here. Let's go to check on dad, and you see that I hit over here, I highlight save, hit enter, and now the note that I had down here is in the notes section of the call taking screen, and I can't edit it anymore.
Nope.
It's in there. If I accidentally type in this for some reason, it's in there. Gonna stay in there.
Can't get rid of it.
Nope. Yep. So
be careful.
Be careful. It's like, don't make a mistake, but you can also make a mistake, but it's totally fine. So he needs an officer to check on his dad. Dad wasn't feeling well. Oopsie, you can't make a mistake.
It's because I'm watching you. It's
Right?
fine.
Many people are now not answering the phone. Oopsie. Yeah. So, this call that I put in is now in my pending for an officer to handle. If Sammy opened this on her CAD, she would have all the same thing, and she would look at line 4 and be like, what are you doing? And I can say, fell into my keyboard, and I tripped and hit tab, enter, and now it's in the notes forever. So anyone can see this. All the officers who are logged into their mobile laptops, they can see this. All the people that are logged into CAD, everyone in the county can see this call if they wanted to. And we will either have an officer assigned to it, or by themselves, they'll self-assign, or we'll ask them to handle it. So we can put an officer en route to it, and you'll watch it pop up from here to here. Ta-da!
Look at that.
And so now that officer would be handling that call. Once he got on scene, or either on the phone, or went out there in person, however he is starting this call, we would put him on scene, again using our power line and giving it this command code, and he would change
from yellow meaning en route to
Yes.
red being on scene.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he handles it, blah, 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 blah. Dad is luckily okay. He went to the store to get some ibuprofen.
Forgot his phone.
Yeah. Dad. Come on, Dad.
Come on.
And so I cleared out. Do you want to see dispo codes?
Sure.
Okay. So I hit available. So since we share our CAD with the county has their own. Fort Collins has their own dispo codes. You can see ours are LPD at the beginning. So we will go with handled by officer because Dad is okay. And I hit okay, and then it'll disappear from there, and the unit will change from red to white. Ta-da! You can also see on our call taking screen that it says closed. So if I was trying to put in more notes, or the RP, the reporting party, calls back, I know that I have to reopen it or duplicate it, so we have a fresh call on our board.
Can you go over what all the side buttons mean?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go over another call.
Oh no.
I was like, and then the cycle starts again.
And then we do it all over again.
Yeah, well, I'll go down here with save exit first. This would mean that I still want the call open, someone still has to handle it, but I just don't want it up on my screen right here in the middle anymore. I'm not going to do it now because since it's closed, it will take it away and I'd have to go find it another way, but it would mean that it's still in the pending or assigned, I just don't have it open. Clear ECT, this is our ECT, it's emergency call taking screen. If I started a call and I turned it, I found out that it was in a different jurisdiction and I didn't need it anymore, or the person was gonna call back when it was a better time for them, I could hit this. Well, you know what, how about we just do this? I could hit that and it would make this all go blank. So I have a fresh call taking screen and I don't have this one up and have to show that it's an error. And then, okay, so this time I will save exit and get rid of it. Cancel call, if it was a fresh call, it would mean that I'm giving it a disposition, that the officer's done with it, things like that. ProQA summary is if we opened up our ProQA, which is our EMD, Emergency Medical Dispatch software, how we triage medical calls. If I had used that here, it would tell me a little bit about what the call is, what the EMD, the medical call is about. I'm gonna skip these two for a second, and I actually don't think I used this one.
I don't either, because I think our Annie Alley shows up
Yeah.
above the address. I've never used that, so
Oh, okay, that's what it does.
we're learning all together.
Oh, okay. This might be fun to
Play
look
around
at.
with?
Yeah, with a real call. Neat. Thanks everyone for helping us learn. Duplicate call will make another call taking screen and include all of these notes in here for me. So I'll click on it, and you kind of saw do a little blinky there, and you can see over in my pending it's showing the exact same thing. It has a new, it does not have a new ID number, but it should.
Oh no, that's the new.
Oh, the new. Okay, good. It's like, wait a second. Oh, did it take? It took away the other one?
Yeah, it took away the other one.
Interesting. Okay, great. Still learning. So you can see now that it is open, and I have all of my notes in here still. And you see that it's like
literally duplicated.
Right? Why is it like double? Okay, whatever. I see. So I could put in here that RP is calling back. Wants to talk to officer. So these are fresh notes, so they're new numbers, and they're going in there for the officer to see why this caller and address are coming back. So that's helpful when we have follow-up calls, and we have a lot of those during the day. If this call needed a case number, something happened, the officer needed to write a report about it, we could come over here and yes, we are the first one for the year. And then we could see in here that their case number is 1. Number 1.
And it like copies that in the notes too.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah,
sure did. Page I don't ever use, but I think you could send times to their pagers, which are actually their phones, whatever. And then these over here are all
like for
fire
fire,
EMS. Yeah. So greater alarm would be if they're out on a grass fire or something like that. Or you? I was like, don't go to the side.
No.
If they're out on a grass fire and we need more resources, we would ask for a greater alarm, and we'd get all those extra units. Add resource or capability is if we're needing another ambulance on a
MVA or
yeah,
something.
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it would just give us one single thing. A greater alarm would give us a whole new response. Add resource or capability is just one unit added to that.
And we have to select what type of unit we want. CAD doesn't automatically know.
Here, I'll just do that. It won't do it now because I'm in fire, so I mean police, so that doesn't make any sense. But if I wanted to add agency, I could, so if I needed the fire department or EMS to come out on this call because Dad was really sick and he had fallen and he couldn't get up, and we want someone to come check on him, I tell CAD, I need help on this. We need an ambulance on this one. It's related. And where did it go? Did I put it in there?
Yeah.
Oh. Fire pending? That's weird. This is not how my real one is set up. Anyway, so here it is right here. We're gonna go check on Dad. So when you double click on it, you can see it's all the same notes, but then it's also putting in here, we want someone else to come help us. So this is where it would come over to initial assign. And that is saying, CAD saying, hey, paramedic 341 can be there in 5.5 minutes. So if you hit commit, it will tell them to go to this call. So then we have the officer on the call, even though he isn't really, and an ambulance headed out there to check on Dad. And then we can put them in route. Not seen.
5 minutes, my butt.
You get there faster. Okay, so that's, okay, I want to get back to the fire one. Okay, so now that we're in fire, if we needed to, we could use ProQA, EMD it if we needed to. If we needed to change it, actually we wanted it emergent, I would change my nature code and then hit reconfigure. And then it'd say, CAD would tell me, okay, 341's already on scene, but we know that you want an engine to respond, so if you just hit commit, it's gonna put them on that call as well. And that's the same thing for, like if we have an MVA that's with injuries, but then they get there and they need more resources because they need to be extricated, we'll change the nature code, hit reconfigure, and I'll get my resources sent to me. So I wonder if I can do greater alarm on this.
Why not?
Let's see. Yeah, I do want to add more resources. Oh, okay. Okay, so, it won't let me do a greater alarm, but it will let me add agency. So, not 3 ambulances. So I'm telling it, all of our ambulances are ALS, Advanced Life Support. So we will say, yes, please tell me who could possibly respond. And we see that paramedic 361 has only a 6-second longer ETA than our other ambulance. We hit accept, commit, and now they're on our call as well. All those fun steps when when the officers or EMS or fire ask for something, those are those little extra steps. Oh good, we're just on admin. Accidentally keyed the bike. I mean, there's no mic to key. I just stepped on the foot pedal. So those are all the extra little steps that we have to do to get those resources added on there. What's really great though is they're listening. Like EMS is listening, they know the fire department is listening, so when they see or hear that we actually need an emergent response, they know that they go with the ambulance, so they're like probably already halfway to their rig by the time they hear that, which is really cool.
Something that I forgot to go over is, do you think I should go over this?
Yeah.
So this is our answer keypad. We've talked about it quite a lot. This is the main point of us answering phones. The big green button is clearly answering the phone, and then the hang up is the red button. And then we have our normal keypad. We can put calls on hold. We can pick up the holds. Hook flash is what we use to transfer calls on the non-emergent line. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
When we're searching, if we had the phone actually up, we could search using this find button and start typing and look for what we're looking for. If we're typing on the numbers, we can do the backspace or enter. These are just some very fast transfers that we can do. So if we're on the phone with somebody and they're actually in Larimer County's jurisdiction, we'll just push this button and it automatically connects, so we don't have to dial anything in. Same thing for call-in state patrol, weld, and animal control. And then these are some interpersonal within the department transfers that we can do. Pretty easy, simple. I think we just got a new version of this, so I'm interested to see how that'll look. And then also on the keypad itself, for our keyboard, it's a normal keyboard. We have the split one though, because apparently that's better for you. But here for our F keys, we have it labeled of like shortcuts. So when Erica was opening up a call taking screen, you can see here that F8 is for ECT. So if I push that, it opens up the call taking screen. Super helpful. So all of these do different things depending on what we need. So we can open up the paging deck. If I needed to page something, I can open up incident editor, all with just the push of the F key. So that's pretty useful. What else do you think we should talk about?
I know, that's a lot. That's like,
I know it's a 30-minute video. I think that's good.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. We can go into more detail if you guys have specific questions, like how can we process medical calls, and we can do some scenarios, even if one of us wants to pretend to be a call taker, the other one wants to we pretend to be call takers all the time. Pretend to be the caller, and then run through some scenarios, give you some actual, like, how long it might take to process calls, the questions we ask. Oh my gosh, not answer. We answer the questions for you.
I answer them as you answer them for me.
Yeah, so kind of give you a better idea as to like how it looks actually in the works. So yeah, that's it.
Cool.
So that's it. That's our CAD. That's how it works. Obviously, like I said a million times, there's way more to it. That's just a quick glance through. Again, if you have any questions, email us at howto911@cityofloveland.org. You can check out our social media, Loveland Emergency Communications. No, that's Facebook. There's no at. It's just Loveland Emergency Communications. And then Instagram is howto911 podcast. And that's it. So know where you are, know your phone number, tell us exactly what happened.